So 3 people came up against you, or a group of people came up against you. You didn't see it coming, and you're still confused. They used you as a scapegoat, or they tried to put some kind of blame on you. Yeah, they caused a tower moment in your life. But this was something that was supposed to happen because um, a tower moment usually happens when there are situations you can't see. Maybe you're building with someone who is not your friend, who doesn't have the best interest, your best interest at heart. Like, so a tower moment can happen when you're building on not so sturdy ground, when you need to start all over again, but this time differently, with maybe without those people around you, maybe in a new location, maybe at a new job. You know, it could be anything. Like, yeah, it has to do with your stability. It has to do with your stability. So these people came up against you to mess up your stability. And they caused a tower moment where you lost so much, and it caused pain and heartbreak for you. You lost so much and you have to start all over again. But when the tower moment happens, it's like an awakening, because the way that you were moving, it wasn't sturdy. You were not building on sturdy ground. It was like you were building a house on sand when you should have been building on a rock. And by that, I mean, you might have thought the people around you were people that you could trust. You might have been telling these people your plans, excuse me. You might have been telling them what you had in mind for your future, and you might have thought that these people would be included in your future. But they did something. They came together against you to block your abundance, your forward movement, to block you from achieving your goals. And so it could be so many situations. You decide where it applies. It could be at the workplace. 3 of Pentacles, it could be at the workplace. It could be co-workers that came up against you and used you as a scapegoat, maybe put some blame on you. It could be family members, friends, lovers that came together and plotted against you to affect your abundance, your stability. Yeah, you're the wounded warrior, but you have been so strong and you've been carrying so much on your plate. You've been so strong. You've been carrying so much on your plate. You started to build again. You got your stability back little by little. And these people are so confused how. They don't understand how you were able to get your stability back, because they know that they tried everything to stop you, to block you, to cause stagnation. You see how these crows are bothering this girl, how they're like trying to keep her stuck or trying to keep her confused. They try to keep you confused. They try to keep you stuck. With some nonsense, with some kind of nonsense. Maybe they thought that you would get caught up in some type of drama that they try to put you in. They probably thought you would get caught up in some type of drama that you would get dragged into. But you ended up having success. You end up becoming victorious. You were the victorious one in this situation. you're the one, you're winning. You got the spotlight anyway. And now they want to come towards you. These people, now they feel like they gotta chase after you because you're successful. Now they feel like they want to come towards you because you're successful. They didn't expect you to be free. They didn't expect you to be cool cutting them off, getting rid of them. They, like I said, they thought they were going to drag you into some type of drama and that you would fight, but they didn't know that you were okay to walk away from that job anyway because you were going to start your own business. You know, they might have thought that they were targeting your job, your workplace, your promotion, and they didn't even know that you were so tired of that job anyway. You've been asking the Most High if you should walk away from that job. You've been asking for a sign, and little did they know they played right into that. They were the sign. When they came up together against you to cause, to lie, to say that you did something, to put some kind of blame on you, that was the sign that you were waiting for, and you were so easy to run away like that horse in the background. You just needed an escape. You needed an excuse. You just needed an excuse. Or if it was the family, the lovers, the friends that came together against you, like, you've been checked out of those relationships. You just needed an excuse to be free. They didn't know that they were releasing you. They didn't know they were releasing a stallion. They didn't know. They didn't know because they were deceptive. They lied. And they look how free you are in the background. See, they were listening to others about coming together against you. And now they're in their head about how their plan backfired, how they actually freed you because they exposed what was no longer serving you. That was the tower. The tower exposes what no longer serves you. You were building with people that were not for you. You were building with people that were smiling in your face, but talking about you behind your back. And now they're sorry. Now they want to come and give you a gift, a small freaking token, because they don't have nothing to give you. They got flowers and a small token and want to apologize. They don't have nothing to give you. Look at the white horse in the background. That's the surrender. That's the surrender flag right there. They surrender because they waged war together against you. These three people, or this group of people. They waged war together against you. And they thought that there was going to be something in it for them. I don't know what they thought. What the reward was. Whether the reward was to watch you struggle, was to see your downfall, or if there was something tangible, I don't know. But for what I do know is that they want to surrender now because they see you're doing well. They want to come back and apologize and be like, oh, see, can you let bygones be bygones? Can you just let the past be the past? We changed now. See, what had happened was it didn't really look like that. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. That's what they want to come around and say, like, oh, that's not what it was. It was just this, that, misunderstanding. It's not what it looks like. Now they want to come give you a small token, come be a part of your success. Because they didn't expect to release a whole stallion. They didn't know. They thought that they coming together was gonna hurt you, and it did. It did. Sure, because you thought these were your people, or you thought you were cool. You just don't understand. You were innocent in this whole entire situation. You don't understand why people would come together to frame you for something you didn't do, or to cause stagnation in your life, or whatever. It did hurt, sure, because you're innocent, but they didn't know that you would cut them off and go be free, and that whatever that they were planning, it wasn't going to affect you the way they thought. Now they like, oh damn, oh damn, look at that. And now you're protecting your space. Now you're standing up for what you believe in, and you're protecting your space. And you know what, I get that you stay in bed a lot, and that doesn't mean that you're lazy, but you figured out. Remember I said that you didn't want that job no more, and you just needed a sign from God about this business that you wanted to start, and you started that business, and now you get to make money from the comfort of your own home, and you're protecting that. And these people want to come in and they want to be a part of it, but they can't be a part of it because you're protecting your beliefs now. You're standing up for yourself. You've created boundaries. You've cut them off. You're enforcing those boundaries. You're protecting your space. You don't tell these people what you're up to. You don't tell them your plans. You don't talk to them. They haven't heard from you. They can't even reach you. You're so protected. And you're making money from your bed. You're at peace. Or if it's not a business, it's another career. Like you might have made a switch in your career, and it's like, oh, maybe an at-home job, maybe a remote job. You're making money from home. They're jealous about it. They thought that they caused you to lose. Maybe they did get you fired. Maybe they did get you fired from a job. But right after that, another door opened up for you. They thought they were going to cause stagnation for... Spirit, talk to me. Talk to me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Can you see? I wish this could be more clear, but that's a treasure box. And these are golden cups, getting all your wishes fulfilled. Look how free she is. Look how free you are. It's like you tapped into abundance. When these people thought they were the catalyst, when these people thought that they were hurting you, that coming together against you would definitely isolate you, make you feel alone, take away your opportunities and cause stagnation in your life, the whole time they were the catalyst. They allowed you to see through the illusions. That tower moment, you opened your eyes and you realized that you're better off without them. That they were the ones holding you back the whole time. They were the ones holding you back the whole time. Look at you. And you're celebrating. You got your stability, your abundance. You're good. You're good. They didn't affect anything. If anything, they helped. They helped because they were weighing you down. I don't know. If it's family, friends, lovers, these people were negative. They didn't want to support you. They didn't want to believe in anything. They were skeptical about everything you would say. You know, they would make their problems look so important when they weren't. They would downplay you, everything about you, your success, your achievements, your goals. They would downplay, and they wouldn't support you. They didn't believe in you. And if it's at work, if it's coworkers, then these coworkers, they would like come together to laugh at your ideas whenever you would speak at work. They would make it seem as though like you were not contributing, or you weren't useful in the office or the workplace, wherever. Look at that. It's breaking their heart that you became the CEO or something. You got this promotion. It's breaking their heart. It's breaking their heart. Because you're successful. There's a meme. It's like, what's her name? I forgot her name. Mimi or whatever. I totally forgot her name. Housewives of Atlanta. Nene. And they go, oh, how you doing? I'm successful. Because, wow. Because they cause you so much burden and heartache. Look. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. Look. So, you had to carry everything on your own. You had to be strong. You had no choice. It goes from the 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. You were wounded. They hurt you real bad, but you didn't give up. Like, you kept going. You carried everything on your back with whatever little you had. You started over again. But you believed in yourself. And you see how all the wands are just laying there? It's like you learned your lessons. You used those wands to light your path. Look at that. They're not even lit here. She got one wand that's lit. She went and lit the rest of the wands. All these wands represent your lessons, the lessons that you learned, the burdens that you had to carry. You made them light your path. And you walked that path alone with what you had, with the lessons you've learned. This is what you have, the lessons that you've learned. But it didn't kill you. You're stronger, and this is your justice. Oh, come on. The cards are talking today. Like, Spirit, talk through me. You learned your lessons. 6 of Swords. You are moving on to calmer waters. You moved on to calmer waters. And you got the victory. My goodness. Come on, you cannot make this up. 6, 6. You got the victory. You got the victory. You got prosperity. You got the lesson. Whatever lesson that you were supposed to learn, you learned it. I know sometimes it sucks. It does suck. You know, we come here with the spiritual contract. We got to learn our lessons so that we could, I don't know, live the next life even better. I don't know. But it's like you did it. You did exactly, you understood the assignment. You did exactly what you knew you had to do. You cut these people off. You learned your lessons. You learned not to trust people so easily. You learned that not everybody is for you, especially those closest to you. You learned to keep your mouth shut and to make your moves in silence. Yeah. Yep. You learned to let it go. You learn to let it go. Whatever will be, will be. When these people came together against you, you didn't know, you didn't have a plan. You had to let go of so much. The tower moment. Okay? I'm going to keep bringing this up because this is the center of the reading, so I can already tell. Like, you learned that all you had was your peace. That's all you had. And you had to protect that. Even when they brought war against you to your doorstep, you had to protect your peace. You knew. You had to let it go. You had to let it go. You had to start all over again, even if you didn't know what that looked like. Even if you didn't have a plan. You have to learn to trust yourself, intuition. And again, I know it sucks. We come to this earth with a spiritual contract and we got to learn all these lessons. And you have to learn to trust yourself because, you know, there were times where you noticed the shade. You saw that these people were against you. They might have said things under their breath or blah, blah, blah. You might have sensed, but you didn't believe. You didn't believe in your intuition. You didn't trust in yourself. You didn't realize that you were connecting to the Most High, to the higher realms, that like the download information you were getting was real. Yeah, you thought you were in over your mind. You thought that you was just like, your heads were in the clouds. That, when these people were showing you their true colors, you kept making up stories for them. You wanted to believe. You wanted to believe. But look, only when pigs fly, It's like you were believing in delusions, in illusions. But now these people, they want to come and apologize to you as well. They want to come and apologize to you, get back in your good graces. But that's when pigs fly. Please. Right? You started using alchemy. You started working with the universe. You started speaking life into yourself. You started writing down your manifestation and watching them come to reality. Right now, to this day, today, you are literally living the life that you prayed for. Right now, I want you to look back and think about all the things that you prayed for and realize that you have those things now. They're tangible to you now. Like, you manifested that. You did that. You and the Most High and the universe and your spirit guides, you came together and you started manifesting. You made things a reality. First you put it down on paper, and now it's your real life. You learned alchemy. You learned how to think positive. You learned how to cut negative people away from you, because you understand that negative people were speaking also. They were speaking down on you. You started understanding alchemy. You started understanding that those people who were negative that were around you, they were speaking down on you. And even if they knew or didn't know what they were doing, they were practicing magic. They were casting spells with their tongue. They were speaking on you. That's spelling. And you learn to cut them out. You started, look, that's your star. You started connecting with your Ori, or your guardian angel. You started tapping into that wisdom. I'm telling you, you and the universe. You started connecting. You see that silver lining? You started protecting your destiny. You didn't know. There was a time you were so innocent, you were so naive. You didn't know that we were fighting with darkness and principalities of evil. You didn't know. You didn't know that it could be your own people casting spells on you. You didn't know that you had to, that you didn't know that the devil actually uses people to attack you. And it don't matter who the people are. You don't have to be in a relationship with them. It could literally be your coworkers. It could be any setting. As long as that person is open, the devil can use them to attack you. You didn't know that you had to protect your star. You didn't know. Look. You didn't know. That's where the tower came from. I mean, when these people came together against you, it opened your eyes to so much. It opened your eyes to the spiritual realm that you didn't know existed. Like, you knew of it, but you didn't know of it. You've heard about it, but you ain't witnessed it. You didn't know how people get down. And they get down bad. You didn't know. You see how her eyes are closed, but her eyes are open. You didn't know. You didn't know that there were witches and warlocks out there. You didn't know that people were really doing black magic, witchcraft. You didn't know. You didn't know that you had to pray over yourself, protect yourself. I mean, yeah, you might have prayed, but you didn't know. You didn't know that you had to cover yourself in the armor of God. You had no idea. You had no idea you had to put in that work. Look how she's putting in that work. Look at the background. She got the aloe plant. She got all different kind of herbs. She got the candle. She's manifesting. Look, she's working with the earth elements. She's working with all the elements. She's getting her money up. She's putting that work in. She's putting that work. Cause you didn't know. These people knew. And for some of you, it's been happening since you were a child. That these demons, they had a head start in attacking you. And they knew about your Ori, your star. They knew about it. They knew. They seen that on you. You didn't even know you had it. They been attacking you. Look, you had to become cold. You had to cut them off. In order for you to become a CEO, the boss that you are today, whatever position you're holding, you know your story. You had to become cold. Yes. You know why? Because these are people you loved. These are people you never thought would turn against you. These are people that, they hold significant titles in your life, but they treat those titles like they mean nothing. You had to detach from those titles. Oh, that's my mom. That's my dad. That's my sister, my brother, my cousin, my best friend, my significant other. You had to you had to detach. You had to detach. You had to. And these people were using your emotions against you. They were using those titles against you to hold a significance in your life, to hold a position in your life, to have access to you, to continue to snub your light, to continue to hold you back, to continue to keep you stagnant. You had to become cold. You had to. You had to break all these people's heart. And it broke your heart. It broke your heart. It hurt so bad. Look how you had to sew it back together again. It hurt so bad that these people, look how she's like in like the desert of isolation or whatever. You had to. You had no choice. In order for you to become this boss that you are now, this didn't come overnight. These were actions that you had to take, baby steps that accumulated over time to get you to this point. You were not always like that. There was a time when you were like this. And there's still times where you cry like that. Because you do wish you had those people in your life. You do wish you could call on them. You're only human. But you had to become cold. You had to. Because, we don't wrestle with enemies of flesh and blood. You know what that means? Everything is not what it seems. Yes, that might be your mom, but that's not your mom. That might be your brother, your friend, your cousin, your sister, your lover, your whatever. But it's not. Because if they're open, the enemy can use them. And that's what it is. And you had to learn that. Lessons were learned. Lessons were learned. Look, so, here you are, you're wounded, you got to stand strong anyway. You're accepting the path, you're moving forward with what you learned anyway. Look how the path has gotten lighter for you. How you go from a 9 to a 10, that's burdens, but that's also releasing. And now here you are, you're just balancing. Look at that, you're traveling. You got your car, your walking stick. That's, it could be another walking stick, or it could be a fishing rod. And now you're fishing. Now you're feeding yourself. Now you're self-sufficient. Look at you. You got a nice view. You're chilling. You lightened your load. Look at the color change. Look how it's so dark. And it's now it's like sunlight. And it's justice for you. Look at you. That's celebration. Okay? That's also reunion. I don't know with who. Maybe mind, body, and soul. I don't know. Or maybe your spirit guides. Maybe you're reuniting with your spirit guides. Maybe they've been waiting on you. You know what? Actually, When you reconnected with your Ori, with your higher self, you reconnected because you forgot along the way. You forgot about your spiritual contract, right? You had to learn your lessons. And when you reconnected with your Ori, they've been waiting on you. The archangels, they've been waiting on you to call on them. All right? The angels, the archangels, all of them angels, because you know there's like different hierarchies of angels. Your spirit guides, your ancestors. They've been waiting on you to call on them. And here you are, you reunited with them, and that was justice. You've been needing to call on them. They've been waiting on you to say, I need help. So they could swoop in and protect you. Because that's their job. But they need you to call on them. And that's when you started to have good luck. It's when you started calling on them. It's when you started learning about that alchemy. It's when you started manifesting. It's when you started counting on yourself and actually trusting your intuition. Started to take the blindfold off until you could see. That's when your luck started to change. And that's when you became successful, privileged. You started winning. You started winning. You got abundance. You got stability. You got security forever now. Forever. Like you always had security, but now it's tangible to you. Like you got access to it now. You unlocked portals. You've unlocked doors. You've learned new lessons. You've upgraded. And these people can't touch you no more. They can't touch you. You're free. So if you're liking this, if you're still here and this story or this message resonates with you, can you please like and subscribe? Because I'm new. I'm not really new, but I want to start taking this serious now. That kindle a spark. I told you, they were the catalysts in your awakening. They thought that they were suppressing you. They thought that they were dimming your light, but they actually sparked your flame. They ignited your flame. Look at that. So now they're angry. It says struggle, madness, struggle, sorrow, chaos, falsehood, agony. That's what they wanted for you. That's what they thought. But you know what? You know who's going through that right now? Them. They're going through that right now. Because that's what they thought they were going to do to you. Little did they know. Game over. Game over. Spirit is talking. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. Listen, they thought that they were going to play a game with your life. They thought that they could have control over you. But guess what? Game over, because you woke up. Now you see. Now you see who they are. Now you realize who the enemy really is. And you're fighting. You're fighting to protect your peace and all that. You know, it was different when you were asleep, when you were idle, when you felt helpless, when you thought that this was your life and you were subject to it, but you didn't realize you could cut these people off. These people that held titles in your life. Or that job. You know, when you're like, I don't need this job. I am the job. Look at that. 3 cards fell out. Coming to light. Okay. All right. Because if that don't say enough right there, I don't know what does. You starting to see. It's coming to light now. You opening your eyes. And it says, touching the boundless limit of the universe, that you are limitless. I am the job. I am the job. You see, I am the currency. Like, that workplace needs me. In order for that workplace to succeed, They need me there to clock in, to do my job, for that workplace to succeed. And all I get is a paycheck? All I get is a minimum wage? No, I am the currency. I am the job. I am limitless. These people didn't want you to see your star. They didn't want you to see your star. And they saw it in you the whole time. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to do, man. It's like, it's so real. It gets me, like, because I'm telling the truth. You're not my master. Look, you broke those chains. I am unchained. My life, my rules. And I just got this deck of cards, like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, excuse me. Like I'm so shaken up right now because of how accurate and how much confirmation I'm getting. Somebody out there right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. You had an awakening and you're seeing this matrix. You see that the people that come against you are agents. Look at that. Prayers denied, divine wrath, unforgiven sins. And these are the people that came against you. Because I told you, now they want to come back around. They want to apologize because they see that you're successful. They see that you see them for who they are. They want to apologize. Nah, keep the same energy. Because when you were sleeping, when you didn't know what you were looking at, when you saw these people and all you saw was their title, you didn't know that they were enemies working against you, right? These people were fine walking around hurting you. They were fine keeping you down. They were fine abandoning you and causing trauma in you, huh? They were fine, but now that you can see, all of a sudden they want forgiveness. No, unforgiven sins, prayer denied. And that's the divine wrath. And that's a divine truth. And that's justice. Prayer denied. They will not be a part of your new season, your blessings to come. They will not. No, because they had the chance to treat you right. But they chose, because why? Because they saw your star. They were jealous that it was you and not them. Even though they could have been a part of it. Even though they could have been sitting at your table with you. Even though they could have supported you. No, they were mad because it was you. And they didn't want it to be you. They didn't like your star. They were jealous. You know, they saw that the star was so shiny. They wanted to take it. You know, that movie, The Lord of the Rings. You know that, I don't know what that thing is called. That little goblin. And it's obsessed with the ring. Obsessed. They were obsessed with your star. How shiny it was. Your Ori. Your guardian angel. Whatever you want to call it. The anointing that you had over your life. The favor that you had. They saw it. And they were jealous. Look at that. You're going to have an unsuspected surprise. For who? Unsuspected for who? Like I said, they thought that when they came together against you to blame you for something, to lie on your name, whatever it was, they thought that was going to ruin you. They thought it was going to cause you so much stress, struggle, agony. Look, falsehood, just lying on your name, causing chaos, sorrow, and madness, causing you to go mad. They wanted you to go mad. But now you're successful, and that was an unexpected surprise. Look at that. They wore multiple masks. They were not the... I'm not making it up. But you had a spiritual rooting. Okay? Instead, the only thing that it made you do was connect. It made you connect to Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. All right, the elements. You started working with the elements, all of them. You know the elements are in you. You started connecting. Look at the stars. You started connecting with the Most High, the angels, the ancestors, your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team. Because they thought you were alone. You're not alone. You broke the mirage. You broke the mirage. You started, you see through it now. You woke up. And they didn't expect that for you. Okay, guys, again, I'm going to remind you, if you like this, if this is your story, if you're still here with me, please like and subscribe, and even share if you feel like this story would resonate with for somebody else. The reason why I didn't take this serious is because I didn't feel like I had a message for anybody. I doubted myself, but it's like something keeps gnawing at me that I need to get this out. So you liking, you commenting, you subscribing, that's only confirmation that my message is real and it's for somebody. All right. Twisted. Ooh, and a spy. So you got people watching you. Okay, these people that you cut off, of course, they're trying to keep tabs because they're trying to get back in. They want to get back into your good graces. You won't let them, but they're nosy and they're obsessed with your light, like I said. Coming to light, like I said. They're obsessed with your light. And they're twisted too, because, ooh, I don't want to say that. Okay, I got to say it. I don't want to say it. But there's people that have a crush on you that shouldn't have a crush on you. Like, ew, that's disgusting. Let's just leave it at that. I'm talking about people that really shouldn't, okay? Anyway, but they're watching you. They're trying to keep tabs on you. I don't know if you advertise your services or your products or on social media or whatever. They watch you. They keep tabs. Or they know people that know you, or... Wow. So, this is something that's been happening. I feel like for some of you, since you were a child. They used to twist stories to make you look like you were a rotten child. Wow. They used to twist stories to make you look like you were a rotten child. They made you the scapegoat so that nobody would trust you or nobody would believe you. But that came to a conclusion. Yeah, because now you're laughing. You're successful. Okay, I said that. And say, how you doing? I'm successful. Because these people were monitoring spirits. You didn't know. Okay, I'm hearing it now. When these people were around you, they used to keep up with you. You used to be like, oh, how you doing? And you would tell them, oh, I'm doing this and doing that, or this happened. And they would keep up with you because they were doing witchcraft to make sure that, whatever they were throwing at you was working. Oh, how you doing? I'm successful. Yeah. And they wanted to put fear in you, but they feared your success. Look at that. They wanted you to be a failure. Wow. They feared your success. They wanted you to be a failure. They envied you. They envied you. Oh, these cards are so hard for me to shuffle. They're so big. What do the angels have to say? All right, see, angel of healing. The angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. All right? Because it hurts. It hurts when you open your eyes and you realize that the people who you're supposed to trust, you can't. And that hurts. I mean, you know, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like you're just strong all the time. No, that shit hurts. Sometimes you want to depend on somebody. You want to call someone, but you can't. And it'd be those people that you're supposed to call. But guess what? Now, angel of joyfulness, something wondrous and magical is about to happen. Because you're winning. Even though you don't got these people around you, like, the Lord is going to compensate for that. You're going to have a life that is full. You're going to live a life that is full. You're going to have spiritual healing. An aspect of you or a situation in your life is in need of healing. All right? You're gonna heal all of those wounds. Look, the angels are gonna come. They're gonna heal you in your sleep. They're gonna upgrade your DNA so you can wake up the next day and be who you gotta be. Be who you have to be to become successful, to have that life that is full. Look, you reap what you sow. Your dreams are coming to fruition. And it's time for the real you to emerge. Yeah, the real you is emerging, and they don't like that. They're so afraid, okay? Look. They're so afraid of you taking off. Did you hear that? They're afraid of your takeoff. The real you is about to emerge. They try to hold you back. They wanted to keep you small. But they can't hold you back. Angel of space clearing. It's time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Angel of support. The universe has heard your silent call for help. God of reflection. The qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. Angel of pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. And Goddess of strength. Stand up for what you believe and you will gain respect by holding your ground. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there. So I don't even have a name for my channel. I think it's Angel Motivation. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But if this message resonated with you, thank you for watching. And yeah, I hope you got something out of it. Some type of confirmation.